Yo, Jenny Gang, what it do? So we are back for another Jenny Gang social media production. My real ones know hit that like button right when you come in. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We are growing and if you're already subscribed and supporting, thank you. So today, y'all, I want to talk about Alex Murdaugh. If you're unfamiliar with Alex Murdaugh, he is was a well-known attorney from a prominent legal family in the state I live in, South Carolina. For generations, the Murdaugh family held major influence in the state's low country region through law firms and prosecutor offices. So I'm going to go backwards, y'all, from what I'm looking at in this article. Let's talk about the Murdaughs. Again, they were very successful. Alex Murdaugh is not the first Murdaugh. It's generations of Murdaughs. However, Alex Murdaugh, I would say probably him and his youngest son kind of tainted the family name, but nobody tainted it like Alex Murdaugh. So, Alex Murdaugh ran a what seemed to be successful law firm. However, in 2021, he was confronted by people who, I guess, co-workers, that he had been stealing a lot of money. So he already was making money, y'all. But you know how you get greedy, start taking money, and you think it's never gonna catch up to you, and then next thing you know, it's been years and years, and you've stolen millions, and now it's caught up to you. Well, that's what happened with Alex Murdaugh. But instead of Alex Murdaugh being able to face what he did not really want to look bad. He wanted to take the attention and deflect off of what he did because he knew it was going to get out to the public. I don't know if he was so much as worried about his family, but he was just embarrassed. Now, before I say what Alex did, let's talk about his son. He had two sons. The one I want to speak about is named Paul. I can't think of the other son's name right now, but Paul is the youngest son. Paul, the reason why I'm stating Paul may have started messing up the Murdaugh name before his dad is because in 2019, Paul was out on a boat with his friends, and Paul is the child that acts very privileged. Y'all know how some kids can be humble. Like the other brother's name is Buster. I don't know if Buster had a privileged attitude or not because he's not talked about enough to me to know if, but Paul most definitely did. So Paul was out with his friends on a boat in 2019, and he was just drinking, him and his friends drinking and having a good time. However, he was the one operating the boat. Well, he ended up having an accident on the boat, and one of his friends, teenage girl, ended up being thrown off of the boat into the water, and she drowned. They couldn't even find her body for I can't remember how many days, but imagine, her mom getting that call that her child is missing. She's flown into the water, but it was kind of hush hush at first because none of the friends wanted to snitch on Alex because remember, I mean, on Paul, because remember, their family has so much respect in the community. So nobody wanted to tell the authorities that it was Paul who was operating the boat, very drunk, very belligerent, just doing the most. So now he's called somebody's unaliving. So that's where things started to crumble. 2019. Fast forward to 2021, Alex Murdaugh is starting to get called out for his financial crimes. All of a sudden, June 7th, 2021, 4 days after my birthday, y'all. Alex Murdaugh's wife, Maggie Murdaugh, and the youngest son, who I'm speaking about right now, who, yes, did have a little privileged kids attitude, they were both found shot near the dog kennels on the family's rural property. The property is called Moselle, and it's in a city called Colleton County, South Carolina. Now, this is where we gotta. I'll give you a trigger warning. If you have kids in the room, please pause this. Or if you are sensitive to details, gruesome details, please pause this or fast forward. So, Maggie and Paul were unalived on the family's property. And supposedly there was, some gunmen that no one knew that came and done this. And Alex Murdaugh, when he got to the scene, well, he told the police that, "Oh my goodness, my son's been in this boat accident. A lot of things, threats has been coming to him. It's got to be something to do with that." He immediately starts telling the police what probably happened and why this happened, instead of grieving the fact that his son and wife are in this situation. Now let's talk about what situation. They were both pumed, but Paul Murdaugh, his injuries were so okay. I'm gonna say what I remember offhand. It was a shotgun. First of all, the shot went through his chest and out of his underarm, but he also had a headshot, if I'm not mistaken. And y'all, this headshot separated Paul Murdaugh's brain from his head. Okay, let's get this. I don't want to say get this vision, but understand how gruesome this scene was. This is Paul Murdaugh, the son, the privileged son. The mom, she was shot in the back. So the way that they seen it is that Paul got hit first. Paul had no like defense wounds. Like, if you were to see somebody get ready to shoot you, you run or you put your hands up. None of that. So it showed kind of like that Paul got hit out of the blue. His mom must have seen it, heard it from another room, came to check on her child, and then boom, she sees what's going on, and she ends up shot as well. They both were unalived at the scene. And y'all, to make this story short, because it's gonna be an ongoing story. I'm very intrigued by this story because I just can't believe what a liar Alex Murdaugh is. Alex Murdaugh has been proven as the person to do this. He had no idea that his son Paul. Okay, y'all, my bad. So initially, what I was saying is that Alex Murdaugh wanted people to know that he had nothing to do with the unalivings of Paul and Maggie. And he said he was at home asleep during the time that these things happened. Now, keep in mind, y'all, the dog kennels. I think the way it was described is that they're kind of like connected to the family's home, or it's like he still was on the same property, but he was supposed to be like up the street when this happened, right? So, he's at the scene, like I said, acting like he's surprised and, oh my goodness, oh, it must have been because of Paul and that boat accident. Well, remember, Alex is a lawyer, first of all, so I don't even know why he was even talking, but he was lying. He was lying. And, as far as motive, y'all know it was the stolen money, the wire fraud, I forgot he was supposed to have some sort of addiction that kind of was in question. Like he was just doing a lot of things to deflect from, but Alex Murdaugh had no idea that moments before this unaliving took place, that his son Paul made a Snapchat video. In the Snapchat video, you can't see them, but you can hear Paul, Maggie, and Alex at the scene. It's literally, y'all, minutes before the unaliving would have happened. So the way Alex Murdaugh wants people to think is that he was at the house sleep. He did not pass the supposed gunman on the way back home from the dog thing, the dog kennel. So it's almost like Paul snitched on his daddy from the grave. Alex had no idea that that video even existed. So it was just like the nail in his coffin. Alex is still trying to plead innocent till this day. As a matter of fact, the reason why I'm even bringing this up, because something is going on with the case right now. May 26th, the South Carolina Supreme Court overturned Alex Murdaugh's unaliving conviction and ordered a new trial. The court ruled that former court clerk Becky Hill improperly influenced jurors during the original trial. violating his right to a fair trial. Even though the unaliving conviction is being overturned, Alex Murdaugh was not declared innocent. Prosecutors said they plan to retry him. He remains in prison because of his financial crime convictions. The case is still ongoing and remains one of the most closely followed criminal cases in recent U.S. history. So again, y'all, I'm gonna do another video about this because again, it's a case full of holes. We haven't even covered all of the unalivings that surround the Murdaughs. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. I was talking to my friend about it last night. I was asking him, did he know about the case? And he's like, nah, I never heard of that name. And then when I started telling him the details, he's like, oh, I think I do remember that. Let me know if y'all know about the Murdaughs and what do you think? Are you a person that thinks Alex Murdaugh was guilty or innocent? But y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment on my commentary, and I'll see you guys on the next one.